Hi, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. I'm using a high-powered flashlight, so I hope it'll illuminate my face, but we'll see. Now, I had this set up, but it's gone now, so let's get it back. And, of course, it never works when you want it to work. Current blood sugar is 7.2, and I'm coming down. I have good calibration. It is a little later. I'm doing this video a little bit later because I wanted to test out this lighting rather than the other. Okay, have had a few corrections. The basals humming along. I did have some lows today, so it's going to be interesting to see what actually comes. Okay. Time in range today is 83%. 17% was above 10. 83% was in range. Makes up 100%. Imagine that. And then below is 3.9. Average sugar is 8.4. Good numbers there. Imagine that. Today, I want to talk to you. It's been 1 year since I've been in long-term care. And I just kind of want to go over things and have a little discussion. But stay tuned, we'll be right back. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. Okay, 1 year ago, I moved in to this fine establishment. And the reason why I moved in here was because I couldn't really control my diabetes. At home, my diabetes was completely out of sequence. It just didn't do what it was supposed to be doing. I'd go high, I'd go low. So, I applied. But I applied actually for assisted living, where here I was doing it pretty much on my own. Home health would come and visit. So they put my name in. We chose an area, and it was decided what sort of area I'd move into. This facility opened up, and I took it. I probably wouldn't have been happy any other place. Now, type 1 diabetes, that is labile, has some issues. After a little rocky start when I got here, my doctor didn't really write orders because it was my understanding that when I came here, I would be responsible for my diabetes. I walked in here, and one of the first things the care coordinator said, the doctor is going to be here to discuss getting you on needles, because that's how we control diabetes here. And I said, no, I have an insulin pump, and I utilize the insulin pump. So they relinquished, and I was, with the help of the doctor I was assigned to, they learned that pretty much I can handle it. I ran into a little rough spot where I had 3 days of really low blood sugars, and that I was unconscious and couldn't do anything and required their help. Immediately it was, well, we're going to start giving you any extra insulin you need because it's for your safety. And then basically what they're saying is, you're taking extra insulin. We know you're taking extra insulin. We got that straightened out. Now, the facility I live in is run by Fraser Health, and it's under the auspices of the provincial government under Fraser Health. Everyone hired here is through Fraser Health. Pretty good. There's not like they don't hire a private company to run this place, which, looking back at it now, is probably a good thing. After that initial hump in the road, we started to get into a routine. Now, we have had another issue with, I keep wanting to say gabapentin. It's not gabapentin. Insulin and the other, glucagon. Not gabapentin, glucagon. And glucagon, right now, injectable glucagon, there is a problem getting it, and it costs quite a bit. Earlier in my stay here, I went into DKA, and no one was really caring what I was doing then, but all of a sudden, because I'm getting lows, it became a problem. You can look back and take a look for video. One day I'll learn how to put them up here on Money Talks. But I'm probably getting better care here than I get at home. I get a nurse on 24 hours a day. Now, it's not the same nurse, obviously, and then there's a registered nurse also. And my regular healthcare workers are here. Not my regular, but I mean, I get healthcare workers, usually two of them. So this works for me. Does every diabetic need to be in long-term care? No, it's specific. I'm also having other issues that I have to live with. So while it's working for me, doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Be cautious. Now, what's nice here is I don't have to worry about supplies that are needed. I don't have to worry about my diet, or when I go low, they offer the treatments. So it's all fairly good. I've done this for a year now. I can't really picture myself in assisted living. The best place for a diabetic to be is outside of a facility. We've got to get out there. We've got to see how we respond to environment, regular foods. In a closed environment, you don't necessarily feel the stress of everyday life. And that stress can add to your blood sugars. But who knew? I'm in here now. I pay rent here. Get 3 meals a day, 2 snacks. So it's all good. Now, I don't know how really my diabetes would be taken care of, and if they'd be so open to me taking care of my own diabetes in a private home. Like I said, we butted heads a few times, but it's just pretty much like a family. The nurses and the healthcare workers come torment me. Don't worry, I torment them back. But it's all fun time, and they keep it lighthearted here, which is nice. They have been getting me to my appointments, and that's awesome. So, just because someone in your type 1 in your family who's getting a little older may be showing that they need a long-term care, you gotta take a look at all their options. For me, if it was just my diabetes or just my other conditions, I probably would not necessarily be here. I probably would be in assisted living. I had one interview for assisted living, and nothing ever came of it. I never heard back. I never heard, sorry, you don't meet our qualifications. Who knew? But what I am happy is I did find a good place. And what's nice is we are connected to a hospital. So if I have to go to emergency because I've had a severe low, or I've gone into DKA, it's literally down the hall. Sorry, down the hall and up the elevator. And you're there. But still, if I was able to pay my rent, pay my food, pay the electricity, cable, the internet, everything that I needed to live, I could possibly rent an apartment somewhere and have home health come in. But I can't. And the bills, I was just barely holding on. There were times I'd run out of food just as, the next morning came and I knew the check was in the bank. First thing I'd do was head out and get food. That's not a great way for a diabetic to live. I have a few workers that we're friendly with. I don't know if we're deep down friends for life, but the care I'm getting is exceptional. If I do need help with diabetes, I can ask. Blood tests that come in from my doctor are pretty well done. They have a lab here on site, so it's pretty well the best of both worlds. So, why don't we just put all older type 1s in the hospital or in the facility? Well, first of all, I had to wait over 2 years to be able to come to this facility. This facility is a way out of the area I lived in. So my friends don't necessarily always get out. But I have my cell phone. I have my iPads. I'm able to keep my entertainment going. And if you notice, I still have my pump. So I will keep doing my insulin regime for as long as I can. If I start losing my senses, if I get delirious, I can hand it over for a bit, but I'm not going to say, okay, here, you do it. I think I mentioned this once before. There was a day I dropped really low. It was decided that I should go to emergency, and they would find out what's going on. So I went there, and a nurse who works over here said, well, why don't you just let the nurses do it all? Because of 2 reasons. 1, I'm a labile diabetic. 2, I'm a type 1 labile diabetic, which means that my body works differently than a majority of other diabetics here. There's a higher, bigger proportion of type 2 with senior age and whatever. What's worse is, they have to come and ask me my blood sugars. That's the one drawback. It's not a biggie, but I really wish we could go over and take care of ourselves. So, me being in diabetes, me being a diabetic, me being in a facility with diabetes has helped. It's not like the answer for everyone. It worked for me. I haven't been found on the floor. I've been sort of unconscious a couple of times here. I have a registered nurse here who is always, in a fun way, on my case about my diabetes here. But did I make the right decision? Yes, I made the right decision. I'm safe. I have my own little space here. I have one room, and I have a full bathroom. I have my meals. I can make this my own. I have my own artwork around. So yes, 1 year being here, I've gone through spring and summer. We made it through winter. Well, we're almost through winter. So 1 full year, 365 days of doing this. The one thing I really would say that it's helped is the regime. It's keeping me constantly, my blood sugars, and I'm up every day at a certain time. I go to bed at a certain time. Doesn't mean if I want to stay up and watch TV, I can. So it's all a good. For me, it was a good choice. I think gone are the days where all diabetics could expect to end up in a facility dying. And then when you were diagnosed, you could be in the hospital for up to 2 to 3 months. I was in the hospital for 1 month, minus a couple of days. And that was a lot because I couldn't give insulin shots. Here, on the whole, I'm surviving. So, yes, this is not really much about diabetes, but diabetes in a facility. If you have a type 1 who's looking at a facility, be one, that somehow it has government oversight. You want to make sure that your family member is taken care of. 2, you want to make sure of the medical qualifications on staff. That I kind of flew in blindly. 3, I would have liked to have had more diabetes information for them when I came here. But it was a good move. And if I was open about coming out to this area again, I would. And with that, have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.